Every successful person has more in common than you think. They have failed a number of times before even achieving any goal. Understand that failure isn't the end. It's actually a way of learning, a way of opening you up to new beginnings. Today, I will share with you why failure is essential for success and how you can use it to your advantage. Lesson 1. Every successful person's story always includes failure. How many successful people have you spoken to that says they failed more times than less? I've spoken to a lot. And I'm not just speaking about the extremely successful people, like the massive business owners, the entrepreneurs, the sport players, etc. I'm not speaking about just those people, right? I'm speaking about even just maybe a friend or someone you know that they've created a small business. They created something small and it's worked out for them. I am speaking about success in any lane. It could even be, and it doesn't even need to be in terms of money, it could be success in going to the gym and being consistent and actually hitting your targets and hitting your goals. It could be trying to lose weight and you've actually achieved it. That's success, right? And failing with that type of success would be eating and not sticking to your plan and not going to the gym as many times as you've said to yourself. But let's talk about business and actually achieving major goals, because listen, it's not easy. It really isn't, and I have failed more times than less. I started YouTube, believe it or not, when I was 17, right? And guess what? I gave up because I wasn't getting views. I didn't have many subscribers. And it's part of the game, right? If you're not consistent and you don't truly love what you're doing, when you fail, you will give up. And I've been doing YouTube for a year now, consistently. I did take a break, but I've been doing YouTube and content seriously for the last year, and it pays off. And it just shows that when you're actually consistent, you will reap the results. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. So you have to be okay with failing to achieve success. When we look at 90% of successful people, we always see the highlight reel of their life. Because unfortunately, social media is great, but it only shows the highlights of most people's lives. A lot of people are not open with the hardships they go through, or the pain, the depression, the hard days, the failures. A lot of people are not open with that because they feel either embarrassed, or they feel like they're not good enough, or they doubt their self for showing negative results. And obviously it would be good for those people that are trying to become someone and aspiring to have this goal achieved. But of course, people only show on social media the highlighted versions of their life. And that's why it's extremely important for us to not watch people's lives and be like, I wish that was me. And doubt yourself because you're looking at someone that is selling a fake story of themselves. Everyone on Instagram, on Snapchat, everyone on social media, they show the highlighted versions of themselves. I think even like 90% of my videos, let's just say 99, I've never come on here like crying or like being open and real about certain stories. On my podcast, me and my business partner, we have a podcast, I've cried on there. I've been very open, very real about a lot of things. But obviously, when it comes to my content on here, for example, I keep it very like energized and insightful, because my energy has to be infectious, because otherwise you'll be bored and you will not understand the things I'm saying and you will just tap out. And it's really important that when you're doing something, you are being this positive, uplifted version of yourself, because why would you want to watch someone that's negative and draining? You wouldn't. So even for me, as an example, when I don't feel my best, I'm just stroking my cat, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm like moving down here. She's trying to jump on me, but we're not allowing her to. Back to what I was saying. When I don't feel my best, I just don't record. If I don't have time, I just don't record, because I don't want to rush an episode. I don't want to show up not at my best self. And of course, I'm not going to be my best all the time. I'm not. But I need to try to become this version of myself by being her. And by being her, I need to understand that I might fail. I might have a bad day. Do you know how many times I've even got the camera out and recorded, and I go to look at the video and for some reason it ended? A whole great video. It's happened like a number of times, and I haven't failed and been like, I give up, this isn't working. It's just part of the game. And it's the same, I've had multiple businesses and some of them have failed. Even when I was doing eyelashes, if you don't know, I was doing eyelashes as like my first own business. And I built a good client base, and then I moved to a completely different area, 2 hours away from my original client base. So I lost all of my clients, right? Essentially, someone could see that as failing and rebuilding, and I did. I didn't rebuild my client base. I just gave up. And if I didn't give up, I could have, taken it further. I could have grown my client base, and I could have opened a shop, and I could have had other people working there. And there's so many ways of failing and giving up. It could be so small, but it also could be so big. And if you give up at something you really, really love doing, or you can see a great end goal and you just give up, I'm sorry to cut it to you, but it was never for you, because something that is for you, you will not allow it to pass you. It will always be a part of your life, even in the hard times. Remember, behind the scenes of someone's highlighted life, there is going to be setbacks, there is going to be failures, there's going to be cries. It's not all roses and daisies, I promise you. Without them, success would not exist, because failure, it toughens you up. It makes you become this better version of yourself. It makes you work harder. It allows you to learn, and that's what's the most important thing to take from this. When you fail, you learn. You learn something new. You learn from your mistakes. And if you do not learn from your mistake, you will keep failing until you learn. So if you fail, don't give up. Ask yourself, what do I need to learn here? What do I need to do different? Lesson number 2, failure rewires your brain. I say this because what we were just talking about, right, is so ironic. But when you fail and like you go through that pain, that initial pain of like, why am I failing? This isn't for me. I'm going to give up. If you can rewire your mind to understand that, no, let me learn from this failure. Let me not allow this failure to define me or what I am trying to achieve. And actually look at it in a more positive way. And trust me, it's going to be hard, especially if you're trying to get a job and you keep getting rejected, or you're starting a new business but you're losing money when you should be earning money, right? You need to understand there's a lesson in this pudding, and you need to go through the pudding, unravel the pie, and figure out what that lesson is. I've got a note here, and it says that neuroscience shows that the brain learns through trial and error, and that is neuroplasticity. You can learn a lot about like the brain, rewiring your mind, neuroscience from Dr. Joe Dispenza. He is great. And about 4 years ago, when I was like heavily into my rewiring my mindset and really shifting to a higher version of myself, Dr. Joe Dispenza was someone that I watched religiously. I read his books. Becoming Supernatural, great book. He has a lot of books, so you should definitely look at him if you're trying to rewire your mind. If you are someone that struggles with reading, I would suggest watching him on YouTube, listening to a podcast that he's been on, because he will teach you how to rewire your mind the best. I promise you. So understand that trial and error is going to be what helps you in becoming the best version of yourself. And that is how you are going to rewire your mind. Every single time that you fail, your brain is going to build new pathways that you can adapt to as you are becoming this better version of yourself and aiming for that success. And you might think, no, it's breaking me every time I fail, it's breaking me. Snap out of it. It's not. It's really not. It's building you to be stronger, to be better, to achieve better. And you are going to achieve this goal if you do not give up. Failure isn't about giving up. There's always a bigger lesson in failing. It's about what you can learn, or it's about you're not ready yet, and that's okay. I have failed so many times, but with repetition and rewiring my mindset to believe that it's okay, it's not my time, I will learn from this, I then achieved my goals. In the gym, with my business, with my podcast, with my YouTube, with my trading that I do, there's a lot, right? Becoming the best mum I can possibly be, it's not easy. There's a lot that's not easy. But with failing and with not getting it the first time and not giving up, I know that I will achieve it eventually, as long as I learn from my failures, but not just my failures, just hardships, because that's what it is essentially. Lesson 3, the growth mindset shift. Now, to close those last points we was making, I just want you to start now looking forward and seeing your life as a beautiful path of lessons and experiences. Now, no matter what you go through, you will grow through. And if you've heard that saying, it's a great saying. Whatever you go through, you will grow through. Because you can go through something, and yes, trust me, a breakup, a failed business, losing money, these things, they're hard. They're so detrimental to our mental health in the moment. But it's actually about looking back at those experiences and being like, wow, I came so far and I made it out because I never gave up. And that's how I want you to look at it moving forward. Understand that if you do not stop trying, you are going to achieve it. I promise you. Because you are good enough. You are definitely good enough. Don't doubt yourself. Don't judge yourself for failing once, twice, 10, 20 times, right? Whatever it is. You are good enough and you deserve to become this version of yourself or to achieve the goal that you have in mind. I promise you. But you have to start acting like this is okay. It really is okay. Because life, it's not easy. It's really not easy. You could be on your way to the most important interview of your life, right? You could be in the car driving on your way. You have an hour to get there. It says you're going to get there in 25 minutes. You gave yourself 35 minutes grace period for traffic and to park. But someone has an accident in front of you, or you get stopped at every single red light and there's a traffic build up. You can't control anything but your own mindset. So just start looking at things in a more positive way, even when it feels like it's impossible. Remember that failure is feedback and you are going to achieve whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, no matter how long it takes. Lesson 4, failure is your data. So when you are growing and you are evolving and when you have achieved the success, you can look back and you can tell yourself, wow, I made it here. I am so strong. I am so dedicated and I deserve this. Because you have the proven data of everything you went through, the struggles, the failures, the cries, the losing friendships. You deserve it. And without that data, without that journey, I guess it's luck, right? And yes, don't get me wrong, some people get luck, they get overnight success. They wake up and they're a millionaire in the morning. They wake up and someone's knocked at their door to give them a delivery and it turns out to be the love of their life. Yes, luck happens. But we're not talking about luck here. We're talking about you being great at what you wish to achieve. And you might fail sometimes, but you are going to achieve it because you're not giving up. And that takes me on to my last point. Reframe your failure as feedback. And we've gone through this a little bit, but to wrap it up, I want you to change the way you speak about yourself and that desire, that goal, that version of yourself. Change the way you speak about it. Instead of saying, I'm a failure, I am not worth it, I do not deserve whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Breathe, pause a minute, breathe, okay? Even get your journal out, get a notepad out and write some things down. Reflect on your thoughts because you don't need to be in this negative energy. It's okay, just release for a couple of minutes and center. Center yourself. It's okay to fail because I am learning. It's okay to fail because next time I'll be better. It's okay to fail because I am not giving up. And that is the most important message in today's episode. A failure doesn't define you. You are not going to give up because it didn't work the first time. If something is truly meant for you and you truly want what you are trying to achieve, you will not give up because there's a hurdle, a speed bump on the road. You are going to keep on going. You are going to keep on going. When you are going through a hard time, seeing it as a failure, right? Get your notepad out and write what you've learned from this experience. Record a video of yourself speaking into the camera. Be emotional. Say how hard it is right now. How angry and upset you are that this didn't go to plan, that you failed. But end with a motivational speech to yourself. And save this data. And look back in the future, because you're going to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Failure isn't the opposite to success. It's the foundation of it. It's like the floor of the home. The person that built my home, they probably laid a brick wrong, but they're not going to just be like, oh, I give up, I'm not building that home. It's the foundation of the home, okay? So see success as possible. Failure is inevitable. It's not always going to be easy. You're not always going to get it right the first time, but you will get it right because you deserve it, and you are being the best version of yourself that you possibly can. The only real way that you truly fail is by giving up. So don't give up. Before I end this episode, I'm going to say an affirmation, and I will give you the space to repeat it back to yourself after. I do not allow failure to define me because I am great at everything I do. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Don't give up. You've got it, and you are great. Peace.